Welcome back to CBC News Sunday. As we were just discussing in the last block, the alleged murder of 16-year-old Aksa Parvez this past week raised some questions about the role religion might have played in the tragedy. But for an Oxford professor named Richard Dawkins, there's no questions at all. His goal, you see, is nothing less lofty than to rid the world of religion entirely.
The time has come for people of reason to say enough is enough. Religious faith discourages independent thought, it's divisive, and it's dangerous.
To some, he's the intellectual champion of science, the defender of Darwin. To others, especially at this time of year, Richard Dawkins is the Grinch who's trying to steal Christmas, and any other religious holiday for that matter. His book, The God Delusion, is a worldwide bestseller and was made into a BBC documentary. In the wake of the publicity, the atheist movement realized it's found its champion. And soon others joined his anti-religious crusade. And this past week, the #1 film in North America is The Golden Compass, an openly anti-religious movie based on Philip Pullman's fantasy book for children, a book that some Catholic school boards across Canada have pulled from their shelves. We decided to sit down with Richard Dawkins to do what many families, regardless of their faith, will do over the coming holiday: get into a good old-fashioned debate. We are in the midst of what some call an atheist movement. Christopher Hitchens, and there's several books, yours perhaps being the leading book. Many of them are why religion has not served people well. It has been a force for negativity in the world. What's your view on that?
I don't want to say it's been a wholly force for negativity. I think that it's been, many individuals have been motivated powerfully to do good by their religion. Many individuals have been powerfully motivated to do evil by their religion. So I don't want to get into the position of totting up the good deeds and the evil deeds that are done by religion. I think it is irrational to allow your life to be governed by faith which is based upon something other than evidence. It may be that you do good because you have a faith based on something other than evidence, but it's still irrational to do so.
Those people who would say, Dawkins, I believe in Jesus or whatever God they decide, and I felt the presence of the Lord. I have had that personal experience in a way that whatever you say with fancy Darwin talk, I have felt it the way I felt this chair.
Yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm not impressed by that, because there are a similar number of people who are Hindu, brought up Hindus, and say, I felt the presence of Lord Krishna and etc. There are all sorts of illusions that the human brain is very capable of creating. And
that's an illusion. Those people, those people deluded, those people that say they have had a religious experience?
I think they are, yes.
Those people who say that we have experienced a miracle, that God has interceded in the world?
So. Yes, most definitely.
That's a delusion?
Yes.
Was Jesus, in your mind, a deluded figure?
No, I doubt it. We know so little about him because you can't rely upon the Gospels. I suspect that Jesus, in his own time, was a great teacher, a great moralist. His moral values were way ahead of his time. I think he was an admirable. That's why I wrote an article called "Atheists for Jesus," and somebody gave me a T-shirt with "Atheists for Jesus" written on.
But the notion that raising Lazarus from the dead.
Oh, of course. That kind of story happens so easily. It happens to this day. There are all sorts of people reporting miracles all the time, and we don't. You don't believe them because it doesn't happen to chime in with the religion in which you were brought up. Many people have criticized you, and when you read The God Delusion, for example, you talk about the Jewish God, and you say genocidal, homophobic, racist. You use very provocative terms. Well, that's the Abrahamic God, which is the God of the Jews, Christians, and Muslims, yes. Yeah, you are absolutely provocative on your descriptions. Read Leviticus, read Deuteronomy. I don't need to do any more than just quote. But is that a caricature to take the worst or the most fundamentalist, literalist readings of it, as opposed to the thousands of years of evolution of all of those religions? Two things to say about that. One is that there are many people in this world who do take the Bible or the Quran literally, and literally do think that you should stone homosexuals to death or whatever it might be. That's the first thing to say. The second thing to say is that even those people who don't say that, those people who have, as you say, evolved, have moved on. They have moved on for secular reasons. We've now abolished slavery. We now give equal rights to women. We now give votes to women. That's nothing to do with Scripture. That's nothing to do with the Bible. That's come about in spite of the Bible. And people have now gone back to the Bible and said, oh, well, we'll leave out that bit, we'll leave out that bit.
Although some would say the abolishment of slavery was very much inspired by the Bible, even though slavery might have been the same.
Well, you've got to be joking, because what you're saying is that you can, if you look through the Bible, pick a verse. You can probably find a verse that you can read as abolishing slavery, and then you've got another verse that says you should keep slaves. So you're picking and choosing. That's all I'm saying. We don't get our morals from the Bible because we pick and choose on the basis of a modern morality which has evolved. You're quite right to say it's evolved. It's evolved for secular reasons, and now with hindsight, having evolved our morality for secular reasons, we can go back to the Bible and we can, as it were, rub out the bits that don't fit with our modern secular morality. Just don't read them anymore, and that's what people do.
World would be better in your mind without religion?
Yes, I think it probably would. I mean, I think it is certainly true that there have been some good things, like Martin Luther King was probably inspired by religion, for example.
Not probably, he was.
Well, okay, I mean, he was just as much inspired by Gandhi, who was of a very different religion, if any at all. So I think that it would probably be better to say that the movements like the movement for feminism, the movement for black emancipation, the movement to abolish slavery, the movement to to abolish cruelty to animals and things, these have all been mainly secular, cultural, evolutionary events, and church people have been prominent in some of them, as it happens.
If religion and belief in God has not been helpful, as you say, it's